Hamas says approaching truce deal with Israel. A Hamas leader said the group is close to reaching a truce agreement with Israel. Here's the latest. Hamas is close to reaching a truce agreement with Israel, Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh said in a statement posted on Telegram. Haniyeh did not provide additional details about the potential agreement. The Hamas statement supports similar assertions from the White House. National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby said Monday that negotiators are getting close to the end on the release of hostages held by Hamas, but he declined to elaborate on the details of a potential deal. In recent days, sources told CNN a possible deal to secure the release of some hostages and a temporary pause in fighting may be in sight following weeks of negotiations between the United States, Israel and Hamas, mediated by Gulf state Qatar. Here are the latest developments. Bullet to Gaza death toll. At least 12,700 Palestinians have been killed since October 7 as a result of Israeli attacks, according to figures from the Palestinian Ministry of Health in the West Bank, which draws its data from Hamas-run health authorities in the enclave. At least 5,350 of those killed were children, it said. Bullet to Indonesian hospital attack. Ofer Falk, foreign policy advisor to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, told CNN Israel's firing into the Indonesian hospital in northern Gaza was proportional and in complete compliance with international law. 12 people died after the attack, which Israel said was in response to firing from the hospital. Among the dead were patients and a member of medical staff, health authorities in the Hamas-run enclave said. Bullet to babies evacuated. The World Health Organization said 28 out of 33 premature babies that were in Al-Shifa hospital have been evacuated into Egypt. WHO's senior emergency officer Rob Holden said 2 of the 33 neonatal babies died over the weekend, while 3 other babies were reunited with their families. Bullet to Israel and Hezbollah exchange fire. The IDF and Hezbollah say they exchanged more fire across the Israel-Lebanon border on Monday, including Hezbollah's use of powerful Balkan missiles. Lebanon's national news agency said there have been 10 Hezbollah strikes on Israeli positions since midnight local time, and Israel carried out 15 individual strikes. Bullet Biden faces criticism. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby pushed back against protesters who are accusing Israel of committing genocide in Gaza, saying that while yes there are too many civilians dying in Gaza, Israel has a right to defend itself against a genocidal terrorist threat. Death toll in Israeli-Palestinian conflicts over the last 15 years. The latest violence has caused more than 1,200 deaths in Israel and at least 11,470 in Gaza as of November 16, according to authorities on both sides. UN Secretary-General describes deaths of civilians in Gaza as unparalleled and unprecedented. The number of civilians killed in Gaza has been unparalleled and unprecedented in comparison to any conflict since 2017, when United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres took office, he said Monday. What is clear is that we have had in a few weeks thousands of children killed. So this is what matters. We are witnessing a killing of civilians that is unparalleled and unprecedented in any conflict since I'm Secretary General, Guterres said during a news conference. When asked about his vision for the day after in Gaza, Guterres rejected the possibility of a UN protectorate in the enclave, instead calling for a multi-stakeholder approach that will eventually lead to a two-state solution. Everybody needs to come together to make the conditions for a transition, allowing for the Palestinian Authority, a strengthened Palestinian Authority, to assume responsibility in Gaza, he said. 50 journalists have been killed in Israel-Hamas war, Committee to Protect Journalists says. At least 50 journalists and media workers have been killed since the bloody conflict between Israel and Hamas broke out last month, the Committee to Protect Journalists said Monday night, in what has been the deadliest month for journalists since the Press Freedom Group began tracking deaths in 1992. The mounting toll marked a grim milestone and far surpasses the 15 journalists who have been killed in Russia's ongoing war on Ukraine, according to the organization. On Saturday, 5 journalists were killed, marking the second deadliest day of the conflict, CPJ said. The deadliest day of the war was on October the 7th, when Hamas launched its shocking terror attack on Israel, the organization said, when 6 journalists were killed. CPJ said it verifies reports of journalists killed in the conflict from speaking to sources in the region and from media reports. It was unclear if all of the journalists killed were covering the conflict at the time of their deaths, CPJ said. CPJ emphasizes that journalists are civilians doing important work during times of crisis and must not be targeted by warring parties. Sheriff Mansour, CPJ's Middle East and North Africa program coordinator, said in a statement. Journalists across the region are making great sacrifices to cover this heartbreaking conflict. Those in Gaza, in particular, have paid, and continue to pay, an unprecedented toll and face exponential threats. Many have lost colleagues, families, and media facilities, and have fled seeking safety when there is no safe haven or exit. The organization has published the names of the slain journalists, along with the circumstances of their deaths on its website. Israeli army surrounds Jabalia. Israel recalls ambassador ahead of South African parliamentary vote. Israel has recalled its ambassador to South Africa for consultations ahead of a parliamentary vote to decide the fate of the Israeli embassy. Following the latest South African statements, the ambassador of Israel to Pretoria has been recalled to Jerusalem for consultations. Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs posted late Monday on X, a vote is scheduled to be held in South Africa's parliament on a motion to shut down the Israeli embassy and cut all ties with Israel until a ceasefire is implemented in Gaza. The Israeli military says it has completed the encirclement of Jabalia in Gaza and is ready for the next phase. In a statement, the military said it carried out attacks on 250 Hamas targets in the past day, including 3 tunnel shafts in the Jabalia area, and killed dozens of Palestinian fighters. As we've been reporting, Israeli attacks on residential areas and around hospitals are increasing, resulting in the killing of dozens of Palestinians.
Keep watching us for more videos. Subscribe and follow us. Click the like button and let me know your views in the comment section. Thank you and have a nice day.